My name is Lawrence Cann, and I'm the founder of Street Soccer USA. The mission of Street Soccer USA is to fight poverty and strengthen communities through soccer. When I was 9 years old, my family's house burned down, and we literally lost everything. But we had this amazing community and extended family, and my brother and I had our soccer teams. So we had this safety net that was there for us. But not everybody has that. And what we found, and I knew intuitively, was that you can just build relationships of trust so quickly through sport and really surround people, supports them. And that's what street soccer has been about, building supportive communities across the country to help people fulfill their promise. Street soccer has always been about addressing systemic injustices and inequalities. And you look at the United States and you think of a tool like sports that can really change kids' lives. And then you look at the kids who maybe need that the most, that have the most adverse childhood experiences, and they're priced out. So we started working with homeless teens and young adults, and we expanded to work in communities that are underserved, that don't have access. So that's where we begin, and we grow from there. Well, our goal of street soccer is to improve the long-term life outcomes of our participants. And we know that when you put caring adults in kids' lives, when you can teach them the skills, coping skills, that their long-term life outcomes change. So what we've done is kind of codified not only the trust building when we work in communities, but also the life lessons of sports. So we've taken these 8 skills that are progressive and build on one another. And they're tied to the social emotional learning skills that we know correlate with better grades, attendance, behavior at school. In New York, we had a 2/3 drop in chronic absenteeism among our participants. That's important because especially attendance in school is directly tied at that age to long-term life outcomes. So it's really critical that kids who are at risk, who are under stress, and you give them the tools to improve and to deal and process the world. And so soccer is just such a simple, and sports in general are a great tool for doing that. So our goal is to take this process, make it sustainable, and replicate it as big and as broadly as we can. And so we've been expanding, and we have long-term goals to expand a lot more. The relationship with Uniglo has been incredibly valuable because the perspective of Uniglo has been long-term, and that's so important for us to have that long-term point of view. And what we really loved was the values of teamwork and collaboration that were core when we read about the values of Uniglo, because that's core to what we're trying to transmit. So, and this idea of accessibility, our belief was that this great tool of organized sports coaches should be available to everyone, not just the folks who can pay for it. And it shouldn't. And Uniglo likewise is about accessibility. And it feels really good to have a brand that we know our folks can wear and is accessible to them and is quality. So there's all this great alignment with Uniglo, and we've just built trust over time. Think about it at street soccer is how can we use every aspect of what we do to amplify our outcomes. So when we think of the uniform, this needs to be a point of pride. It needs to be something that it's not just to be taken for granted, and to be able to count on the Uniglo gear, not just what the participants wear, but what the coaches wear. And of course, uniforms are expensive, so this takes away one more barrier that our participants have to playing. We do things because they're the right thing to do, but it's been amazing to count on Uniglo year in, year out, and I think they've done it because they feel like it's the right thing to do too.